So perhaps we do him a bit of a disservice. Parkinson in and bowls this time to northeast. They go through for a single, and Carlson, very quick between the wickets, gets there.
Yeah, good throw. Good run, really. It was a good throw, actually, from Ben Mike, moving to his left and on the bounce to Harry Swindles, who took the bails off, but Carlson had made his ground comfortably. His quicksilver feet, as you said, and he between the wickets, and once he decided to go, and it took half a beat for him to decide, he made the ground pretty quickly and comfortably.
Here he is again then, Parkinson, and this is played in the gap between cover and extra. He is going to race back for a second, and again we'll get there quite easily.
Beginning to find the gaps now, these two. Carlson has faced 24 balls for his 9, northeast 54 for his 16, so they've had a good look.
As you probably know, I'll just break off in a moment as Henderson comes in. Bowls again, Parker. Oh, that's a super ball. How do you play that as Carlson looks down the pitch and holds his hands on his knees? And it's the perfect left-arm spinner, Derek Underwood type, isn't it? In he comes, bowled pitch, taken by the keeper, spitting cobra. Yes.
This is what you want from a fourth day pitch, isn't it, though? As tea approaches, perfect. It should be spinning.
You've said that before, and I wholly agree with you. This time, again, it beats the bat. Heads are on hands.
It stayed low, really low.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness, I thought that was through.
Oh, for another top-class spinner. Claude Henderson, at the other end. Get the head of cricket out here and don his whites. Knowing Claude, he'd probably pitch it as well.
They all thought it was through, didn't they?
Yes, Carlson. Get on the front foot, Mr. Carlson. I think the talk is yellow. He comes again and bowls, and this time he goes back and plays it comfortably out into the covers. Lovely over there from Callum Parkinson. Well, he's trying everything. 110 for 3. Glamorgan now need 48.
Just 40.
40 rather. I haven't brought my glasses into this box, so I would not be
That's
any
reassuring from the commentator.
No, I'd be worse if I was an umpire.
It would. You would.
There were
two deliveries in that. The one that bounced and spat and turned, and then the next one that stayed low. And Carlson did really well to deal with that latter delivery. In comes Mulder and bowls to northeast, who stands up tall and plays it calmly out just wide of mid-on and takes 1. 111 for 3. Nick Webb's back with us.
A technical message. Apparently, if you were watching, the stream went down briefly. You may have switched the BBC audio. The stream is also now back on the Glamorgan website using a different link. So if you go back in there, you'll get us and the pictures again.
There you go.
Thanks, Nick.
I don't know whether that applies to the Leicestershire one as well, as Mulder comes in and bowls and banged in very short. Carlson just leans away from it, and it bounces for a second time before being stopped by Harry Swindles behind the stumps.
Yeah, thanks for that, because people often wonder why they've lost sound, lost picture, and all that. Am I on? Am I?
Yep, everything.
It is working now.
You have a red light. Good.
Nelson's on the board.
It is. Leicestershire would dearly love to have it have an effect, as in goes Mulder and bowls to Carlson, who waits on leg stump and clips it just wide of Azad at mid-wicket, mid-on. Another one. Really, Leicestershire? 23, I think that is now. So 112 for 3 will become 114 for 3 in a moment when the scoreboard registers that. There it goes. It went up as a single initially. Now it's gone up as a 3. Those runs, best part of 50 in no balls. If Leicestershire had those on their side, it would feel like a very, very different game. Mulder is in to northeast, bowls straight and northeast just calmly. Not much foot movement.
Just
Plays
about-
it off the back foot down the pitch.
Saying, Richard, you obviously know I'm a great proponent of county cricket. Long may it last. Yet again, Glamorgan have been probably the better side, but yet again, you see, we're going into the final session of the last day, as there are in many games. There could be results. There will be a result here, but every time you pick up the newspaper and it's been an excellent 4 days, I wish the ECB would take note of that.
Mulder is in. Bowls northeast short. Cut away. 4 runs, is it? Yes, it is. Evans flung himself to his right at point. May just have brushed his fingers as it went scooting past, but it's gone all the way down to the backward point boundary. The boundary well in from the stand, but it has gone 30 yards over it. So short, and just Mulder now beginning to leak runs a little bit. May have to come off after this over. It's been a good spell. The first 5 overs went for just 9 runs, I think it was, but this over so far, 4 balls in it with the no ball, and it's gone for 8 so far. Need a wicket, Leicestershire. Game has almost slipped away from them. Mulder is into northeast, who's trying to turn a short-ish delivery off his hip. It bounces up a little bit more than he thought it was going to. Hits the thigh pad and bounces out into the offside. 118 for 3, just 32 now needed by Glamorgan. How are we doing? 6. Yeah, we will have tea.
Yes, and I'm just anxious to see the next over from
Parky. Well, we will get one more. One more at least, because there is just the single delivery left in this Mulder over.
Could get 2.
Yeah, he is in and bowls.
No
and
ball.
Another no ball. Oh, for
What on earth
goodness
is going
sake, that
on?
is now, I think, over 50. I make that. Might be is it 25 no balls or 20?
Well, it must
24 or 25.
This is certainly the highest in the first innings balled against Glamorgan in a match.
It was
This would just
19 in the
rocket
first
up.
innings, wasn't it? And there's been at least 5 in the second and possibly 6. So I'll check during the tea interval exactly how many there have been on the official scorecard.
Be recorded in my wisdom report for next season.
Astonishing. Mulder is in, bowls down the leg side, steps inside the line. Northeast makes sure that he doesn't get a little tickle. End of an ultimately disappointing over from Vian Mulder, at the end of which Glamorgan are 120 for 3, just 30 short of a second consecutive. No, I beg your pardon. Nearly a second consecutive victory, a second victory in the 5 games they have played this season, putting them very firmly in the promotion chase.
25 no balls in the match.
25. Thank you, Nick. Thought it was 24 or 25, but that is a 50. So 50 in no balls.
Any no ball? I'll just wait as first ball is tickle around the corner. There'll be runs here. Parkinson played it as it was going down the leg side. They've taken 2 and they'll stick at 2. No balls from Glamorgan, I wonder. I can't remember anybody who was.
I think there were a couple.
So in the match, it'll be so and so 29 to Leicester, 1 or 2 to Glamorgan.
6 conceded by Glamorgan. 6 no balls.
In comes Parkinson on the back foot, forces it away to leave extra cover.
So 31 in the match as a whole.
Are we counting foot faults or bounces or
Both, yeah.
Both, yeah.
both?
I think there's only been the one that
I can only
that
remember
Mulder,
one.
Yeah, that bounced so
Dr.
high,
Hignell
no
will tell
chance, but lots of overstepping, ludicrous number of oversteps, really.
Hard to believe, isn't it? There's the next ball then, and as he's done throughout this innings, Sam Northeast just pushes it away gently. He's 21. Doesn't sound a lot, but he's played his part here. Carlson on 13. We've got another over in, I think, before a cuppa comes along. Here's the next ball. Pushed back down the pitch, no run.
They're having to treat Parkinson with a considerable amount of respect after seeing what he's got the ball to do on a couple of occasions in his most recent overs.
Yeah, this is his 13th on the bounce. And he's coming towards the end of it, and he bowls, and this is driven and very well fielded. Is that Patel?
It is.
He is feeling well. Gets a little tap on the shoulder from his captain on the drive there. 27 needed.
I think if he stays fit, Rishi Patel will be a big part of a Leicestershire team going forward.
Yes, he played well in the first innings. Here's the last ball of the over. And a little bit short, batsman. Just pushes it down to cover. And that is the end of the over. And we will have another one. Who will be bowling it? We wait to see. Perhaps Steele will have a bowl.
Yeah, he might as well. He might as well roll the dice now. Parkinson a bit. Mulder went for plenty in that last over, and it is going to be Scott Steele. Now, has he bowled in first-class cricket previously? Yes, he has.
Bowled in the first innings, didn't he?
Of course he did. Just a couple of overs, but I'm just wondering whether he has any first-class wickets in his previous games. No, 2 matches previously. Obviously, this is third. And he bowled 7 overs in them. None for 16 was his return. So he, like Andy Gorvin, looking for a first-class wicket. But I suspect young Gorvin will probably get a few more than Steele.
And I suspect that he's not facing, but Carlson's eyes might just light up a little bit here.
In goes Steele, bowls and clipped by northeast, but without any real aggression out towards mid-wicket. Azad can get across and make the stop. Does. Just 26 needed by Glamorgan. Steele is in. Northeast is driving pleasantly into the gap between extra cover and backward point out to the fielder on the cover boundary. Sweeping out there is Sam Evans. Are we not maybe beyond the stage of sweepers? Deep mid-wicket could stay out for a slogs, but
I'd push mid off and mid on back because Carlson's always seems to eye over the top.
Steele is in. Bowls. Carlson goes back. Stays a bit low, but he plays it off the pitch comfortably enough. It's wickets that Leicestershire need now to have the slightest hope. Steele is in. Down the wicket. Oh no, he got there. He managed to reach for it. I thought it had got past, and he managed to steer it down towards Mike at backward point, who got the throw in. He managed to get back into his ground, but he went dancing down the wicket. Maybe Steele saw him coming and speared it wide. Yeah, but he did well.
I told you so.
He did what you did. He managed to reach it. Had he not done so, he'd have been stumped by yards.
Last old footy.
Steele is in, bowls, and he takes the bottom hand off the bat as that one bounces up towards him, and he smears it. That's all you can say about that shot. Out towards mid-wicket, wide mid-wicket. Steele is in, bowls. Carlson goes back and plays it in an orthodox defensive shot back down the wicket, and that, as Eddie says, is tea time. Glamorgan, not without alarm, have made very substantial progress towards victory. They are 125 for 3. They have 31 overs left, potentially to be bowled in the game. To score just another, 25 runs. Umpires waiting out there in the middle, but tea has indeed been called. Players are leaving the field. I'm waiting for the ground staff to come out and effect the final repairs. 25 needed then to win the game by Glamorgan. 7 second innings wickets in hand. We will be back with you on BBC Radio Wales and BBC Radio Leicester for the final few overs of the game in around about 15 minutes time.
I've got some tea time scores from the other games, which
Like here, are poised to enter the final session on the final day in the LV Insurance County Championship. We'll start once again at the GS Bowl, where Gloucestershire are 248 for 8. Hampshire therefore need 2 further wickets, Gloucestershire a further 120 runs. It's tea time at Hove, where Middlesex are 139 for 1. Middlesex require a further 231 runs to defeat Sussex. Tea time as well at Chelmsford, where Essex are 119 without loss. That's in their second innings against Yorkshire, Essex leading by 57 runs. At New Road in Worcester, Worcestershire in their second innings at 234 for 3, still requiring 208 runs to beat Durham. Durham still requiring to take 7 wickets. The other tea time score in the LV Championship comes from Old Trafford, where Warwickshire are 144 for 6, leading Lancashire by 98 runs. The latest from High Wycombe, if you remember, there are back-to-back T20 games there in the National County T20 competition. Wales National County won the first game by 20 runs, and in the second game, Wales again batting first against Buckinghamshire. They've just completed their 20 overs, and Wales 191 for 4, with Tom Bevan making 78 and Connor Brown 72. A reminder that the official Glamorgan website, www.glamorgancricket.com, contains details of all the various ticket and hospitality packages for all forthcoming games here at Sophia Gardens this summer. That includes the International T20 game here on Thursday the 28th of July, when England meet South Africa, as well as Glamorgan's games in the Vitality T20 Blast and the Welsh Fire games in the 100. Copies of the 2022 Glamorgan Yearbook, as well as score sheets and Michael Hogan's splendid testimonial brochure, they're all available for purchase from reception, which is situated on the ground floor of the Thatcher's Pavilion. And if you're seeking refreshments, food and drink can be purchased, again, using electronic means from the kiosk, situated in the concourse area underneath the pavilion seats. There's a mobile unit adjacent to the pavilion. There are also vending machines situated at the rear of the indoor school.
Stone is in to bowl to Cooke, who's gone big over mid-wicket. That's quite a long area of the ground.
It's to Higgins, who's bowled. He's been yorked.
To resume the Glamorgan's second innings after tea, Sam Northeast and Kieran Carlson. And to resume the bowling for Leicestershire at the Cathedral Road end, Callum Parkinson.
Very good evening and welcome back to the final session of this game then. Glamorgan against Leicestershire. Glamorgan need 25 runs for victory. Leicestershire need 7 wickets for victory. Callum Parkinson, the Leicestershire captain, has been doing his best to save this game almost single-handed. He's taken 3 for 29 off 13 overs. There'll be an update for BBC Radio Wales listeners fairly shortly. As Sam Northeast on 23 not out faces up to Parkinson, who's surely going to bowl till the end, and his first ball is defended on the leg side. Sam Evans with the fielding. So the men out, David Lloyd for 36, Marnus Labuschagne for 13, both those innings quite frenetic, and Andrew Salter for a patient 22. Forward comes Northeast and defends back to the bowler, and there's no run. Batting to come, Cooke, Gorvin, Neser, Wheel, Harris and Hogan if needed. Parkinson, left arm spin around the wicket. Bowls, and off the back foot Northeast plays gently straight to short cover, and there is no run. So Patel is in a close catching position on the offside, and Northeast plays the ball to him once more. It's also a shortish mid-wicket. Leicestershire on the attack. There's a slip. Plenty saving the single. Long off though is back for the miss hit over the top. As that one is driven by Northeast, but he's hit it straight to cover, and there's no run. So Leicestershire fighting until the end. As ball is tossed back to Parkinson to conclude this first over after tea. Bowls to Northeast, who drives down the ground for a single. Glamorgan needs just 24 more runs to win this match with 7 wickets in hand. It should be their second championship win of the season. Leicestershire fought hard today. They added a further 108 for the last 3 wickets to give themselves something to defend, and skipper Callum Parkinson has taken 3 wickets in a fine spell of spin. The men out, Lloyd for 36, Labuschagne for 13 and Salter for 22, but Northeast still there on 24, Carlson 13 and Glamorgan on 126 for 3, need just 24 for victory.
Scott Steele then to take up the attack for the Foxes from the River End. Might just be another 4 or 5 overs, one fields. You never quite know. Taking his time, Parkinson to set the field because he's got the overrate down to -1. Steele is in, Northeast is forward. He's going to pick up 1 there as he nurdles it down towards third man. Mike runs down from backward point, puts in the slide, throws 2 swindles, 1 taken by Northeast, moves On to 25, 127 for 3, 23 to win. Steele is in, bowls, back goes Carlson. Slightly dangerous because it doesn't bounce too much, manages to push it away almost off the stumps down towards Mike at backward point. Steele is in, bowls. Oh, that's a decent shout for leg before, but it sounded very wooden as well, so it might have been inside edge onto the pad as he propped forward rather at that one. Let's have a looky see. Well, just seemed to come straight off the middle of the bat to me. Carlson goes in and is caught at backward point. Steele came in, bowled, Carlson danced down the wicket, swung hard, got a thick outside edge, and it squirted out to backward point where Ben Mike took a fairly comfortable catch. Well, little rush of blood from Kieran Carlson, although that is the way he tends to play, and he looked back in disbelief at that. He was trying to hit it straight, squirted away. Mike took the catch. Steele has his first-class wicket. One can't really believe there's going to be a last twist, but Leicestershire reducing the size of defeat, if you like, the manner of defeat to semi-respectable proportions. Glamorgan are 127 for 4.
Yes, it's a little bit too late to save Leicestershire, but they really have plugged away gamely today. There have been no heads down at all from the visitors as they added those 108 runs for the loss of the last 3 wickets, and what looked as though it might well be overnight a victory by 9 or 10 wickets has turned into something of a hard labour process for Glamorgan as Chris Cooke will come out to join Sam Northeast, 2 very experienced players, and a reasonable amount still in the dressing room as well, with the terms of Neser, Wheel and Harris, as well as Hogan.
First of them, Chris Cooke may have, I suspect, been hoping not to have had to bat in this innings. Has to come out and try and take Glamorgan over the line. Steele will be delighted about that, having made something of a contribution in his first-class game for Leicestershire. I don't think it will be enough unless he takes a hat-trick or something like that to keep him in the side going forward. Never quite know. Bearded Steele from Durham. Just his 3rd first-class game and his first for Leicestershire. Played 2 for Durham before Leicestershire signed him. Didn't necessarily signed him with just a view to white ball cricket, but that's all that has happened. In he goes and bowls to Cooke, who is leaning forward, dabbing it nicely wide of slip. Louis Kimber lopes in pursuit, but it's Ben Mike who is the quicker of the 2, sprints down to 3rd man. Now he hurt himself a bit as he threw in there, Mike. He's squatted down in the action of throwing there and limping slightly, hurt his right ankle. Seems to be okay now. He's limping back towards backward point, and Cooke picked up 2. 129 for 4, 21 to win. Steele and Parkinson want to change. They've decided on a change in the field. They've decided to bring in second slip. So Vian Mulder jogs across from one of the short mid-wickets to stand alongside Louis Kimber. And Hendricks goes from square leg to a fairly conventional mid-wicket. There is no long leg then as Steele is in and bowls. Forward goes Cooke. Angled bat, pushing the ball out towards Sam Evans, who's at point, and that's the end of a wicket taking over, his first in first-class cricket for Scott Steele. Glamorgan 129 for 4, need another 21 runs.
Good afternoon to the good folk of the Penydarren Country 11, based in Merthyr area, who say it's a lovely day down at Barry West End, where both teams are awaiting another Glamorgan win. Barry West End is where I played my first game in 2020 after the pandemic, and there were all sorts of precautions going on, and it rained, but we didn't really care because we'd had a game of cricket in mid-July. Parkinson bowls, and Northeast drives back to the bowler, and there is no run. So thank you to everyone who's contributed via the medium of Twitter throughout the match. As Glamorgan labour towards what looks like being a victory, and they're one run closer to it as it's turned by North East on the leg side into a little gap for a single. North East to 26, 130 for 4, and Leicestershire just left regretting so many own goals, I suppose, in this match, if they can put it that way, with run-outs and no balls. Had it not been for those factors, it might have been a very close game. 2 slips now called in for the new bat Chris Cooke as Parkinson bowls and Cooke stretches forward and defends to cover points, and there is no run. 20 to win. 6 wickets for Leicestershire to win. Parkinson is in to bowl, and that's worked away neatly into a gap on the leg side by Cooke. He'll turn and come back for a second as North East just had to make sure of his ground, but he was safely home without too much scampering. 132 for 4, 18 runs needed for victory.
Just for those Leicestershire fans inclined to lay all the blame for all the no balls at the door of Bjorn Hendricks. Parkinson
bowls and Cooke defends.
He's bowled 9 no balls. Ben Mike has bowled 10. Wright 2 and Mulder 4.
It shouldn't be a catching element, an infectious element in a team, should it? Parkinson bowls and forward stretches Cooke to defend. End of another tightish over, but 3 runs came off it, and Glamorgan needs just 18 runs for victory.
I wonder whether Ackerman, who does give the ball a bit of a twist, might have been effective on this last day. If the team had been able to persuade the skipper to bowl himself.
So you're very reluctant then?
Yeah, it takes some doing. His figures, in fairness, his figures this year have not been spectacularly good. Steele is in and bowls. Forward goes North East, hits it hard down into the ground. It bounces back up for Steele.
Crowd catch.
Who is in and bowls, driven by North East and deflected by a diving Mulder out towards right at mid-off. A comfortable single is taken. 133 for 4, 17 to win. Lots of changes to the field for the new man Cooke. Everybody comes in from the boundary, i.e. 2 people. In goes Steele, bowls. Cooke is forward, pushing out into the covers. Evans closes quickly on the ball and underarms it to Swindles, who immediately underarms it back. Cooke having gone nowhere. Steele is in, bowls. Cooke is prodding that one out from off stump, out into the offside. Steele ready to go, but Cooke wasn't ready to receive, so he steps back, as is his right. Takes guard now, and Steele is in, bowls to him, leans forward, defends out to Evans in the covers. No run. Flags hanging limply on the flagpoles on either side of the players' dressing rooms, atop the pavilion as Steele bowls, and again Cooke pushes it out to Evans. End of the over, perfectly respectable one from Scott Steele, has 1 for 4-5 from his 3 overs, but just 17 now needed, and they have 27 overs potentially in which to get them. Actually, there'd probably be a few more because the spinners are bowling. You know, if we got to that stage, they'd fix it somehow, wouldn't they, Leicestershire, if it was
a factor? There'd be a few committee meetings, I'm sure.
Yes.
Over 8 is now level, so that's a major weight off Parkinson's mind. They shouldn't lose bonus points now. The 5 that they have got from this game, as Parkinson makes sure he has Patel exactly where he wants him, about 2/3 back at mid-off, and Parkinson starts a new over to bowl to Cooke, who drives on the leg side, but there's no run. 133 for 4, 3 wickets to Parkinson, who's bowling his 16th over on the bounce, going at barely 2 and over, and Cooke stretches forward, plays out on the leg side. Evans jogs into field, and Glamorgan will be thankful that they've got 2 old heads at the wicket, because if Leicestershire had fought this hard for the previous 3 days, then Glamorgan might have been in trouble. Worked away though this time pleasantly by North East, down towards square leg. The pigeons are scattered, the boundary is breached, and Glamorgan have another 4 runs towards their target as they move on to 137 for 4.
Almost there now. 23 points.
Sounds good.
Does indeed. Leicestershire marooned at the bottom.
Down the wicket comes North East and clips that one away towards backward square, and just the single taken. 138 for 4, 12 to win. North East on to 32 not out.
Put Glamorgan on to 71 points. Not at the moment, they already have 73.
As forward comes Cooke to defend. Glamorgan to 74 points.
73, I think. They're on 58 at the moment, so add 23.
Glamorgan 51, aren't they? To the
58, according to... Unless they've added the bonus points already.
Yes.
Yes.
As there's a dot ball to end the over, I make it that Glamorgan will be top of the table by 1 point. If they complete the victory here.
Which is very confusing, and they ought to say so.
Yeah. Glamorgan will nudge ahead of Notts. Middlesex will still be able to do something about it in this round, and of course Glamorgan have played in every round, so they have played more than several other sides.
Scott Steele then wipes his brow. 12 to win. In comes the field from the leg side. Staying out there is Evans on the cover boundary, as that one is just dabbed down to backward point, or almost short third man really. Ben Mike by Sam North East. Steele is in to him, he's down the wicket, hitting through mid-off. It was in the air, but he got plenty of it. Steele sprawled to his left, couldn't get there. Mid-off, couldn't get there. Mulder and North East looking to end it quickly. Picks up 4, moves on to 36, 8 to win for the Glammies. 142 for 4. 6-wicket victory. They've been made to sweat for today a little bit, but only today really. Steele is in, bowls and hit back out towards deepish, mid-on. Deepish only though, hit it quite well. North East, and it went too quickly, so no chance of a single as Parkinson fielded. Steele is in, North East goes back and just turns it out towards mid-wicket, calls for the single, makes his ground comfortably enough indeed. Hendricks doesn't bother throwing. Single taken, 7 to win, so I'll keep going just until
please do.
It can be it can be achieved in one, because it may be. Steele is in, bowls, and driven by Cooke out into the cover boundary. I think it will be a 3, because I think Evans will drag it back about a yard inside the ropes. He does. They turn for the third. Have to get on the afterburners, but make the ground comfortably enough. In the end, Glamorgan 146 for 4, need just 4 runs for victory.
So Glamorgan within one blow of that second championship win of the season. They've managed to overcome most of the questions posed by Callum Parkinson, who really has bowled well for 3 for 38. Steele is in to bowl, and Cooke drives straight to cover. That would have been 4 had it beaten the infielder, but it didn't. 146 for 4. 4 needed for victory for the Welsh County, who, by my reckoning, will go temporarily top of the table due to having completed more games than several of their rivals. And Parkinson will keep going until the end. from this Cathedral Road end. 146 for 4. 4 runs needed. Chris Cooke on strike. Field in, saving the single. Can Chris Cooke pierce that field? Parkinson bowls and Cooke drives back to the bowler, and there's no run. Sam Northeast is 37 not out. David Lloyd made 36. Salter 22. Labuschagne and Carlson 13 apiece. Parkinson left arm spin round the wicket. Bowls to Cooke, who plays that not entirely convincingly back to the bowler off something of a leading edge. Richard is demolishing the premises before leaving.
In a fit of pique. No, not really.
146 for 4 as Parkinson bowls and Cooke works it on the leg side but straight to Evans at short mid-wicket. And there is no run. If Chris Cooke has to play out a maiden over, then so be it.
Yeah, you don't want to get out now, do you?
Redinker. Parkinson bowls and Cooke defends on the leg side. Fielded by Evans yet again. And there's no run. 2 slips. Short extra cover on the drive. 6 saving the single. 146 for 4 as Parkinson bowls and Cooke turns it to square leg. There's no run. 5 dot balls from Parkinson, who wants to keep his bowling figures reasonably intact. Parkinson in again to Cooke. 4 to win. Still 4 to win as he defends it out on the offside. Callum Parkinson 3 for 38 off 17 overs.
Yeah, defiant to the last, Parkinson. Not going to give Glamorgan an easy path to victory. Steele will continue, and his lack of bowling suggests he might offer a loose 1 or 2. Over 8 plus 1, goodness me.
Take it into the next match. Scott Steele, 4 to win, to bowl to Sam Northeast, who drives out into the leg side. He's got that through the ring. Will it go all the way for 4? It's being chased up towards the boundary, and it's tapped back just inside the ropes. Well, you have to give Leicestershire top marks for effort, as
you know who that was, of course.
That was clipped away.
Parkinson out there.
Parkinson just delaying matters by a ball or 2. Northeast moves on to 40 not out. The scores are level. Scott Steele to bowl to Chris Cooke. Glamorgan 149 for 4. Cooke pushes forward. There's an appeal for a catch at the wicket. Not given.
I think he was
stumping as well, was it? Yeah. As in comes Alex Wharf. Swindell says, no, it's all right, I'll do it.
Heel was firmly grounded.
Steele in again then to Cooke, who turns it on the leg side, but straight to the infielder. Patel at backwards square leg. No run. 4th ball of the over. Scott Steele bowls to Chris Cooke, who hammers this one through the offside to seal victory for Glamorgan. A boundary to finish it in style. Cooke moves to 11 and Glamorgan on to 153 for 4. It is a second championship win of the season for the Welsh County, who moved temporarily to the top of the table. Sam Northeast is 40 not out. Chris Cooke is 11 not out. And Glamorgan on 153 for 4 have won by 6 wickets.
Many, many congratulations to Glamorgan. Leicestershire left to rue a pretty poor first innings and, to a certain extent, poor first 3 days. They fought hard on the last day, but there really was, in all honesty, in reality, no way back. And as I say, they kept Glamorgan honest, if you like. They made them work hard for the runs, and they'll take something from that, but an awful lot for the Foxes hierarchy to think about. They've lost 3 in a row by an innings, by 10 wickets, and now by 6 wickets. So there'll be a lot of, I would imagine, soul-searching at Grace Road going into a very, very important game next time up at Sussex. But thank you to the Glamorgan listeners and viewers for your company over the last 4 days and your hospitality. It is always an immense pleasure to come to Cardiff, and long may it continue.
Thank you, Richard. I'm glad you've been able to enjoy at least parts of your visit, even if the team didn't quite deliver. For the visitors, Glamorgan victorious by 6 wickets then. Richard will be back with Adrian Harms of BBC Sussex for Leicestershire against Sussex Thursday at Grace Road in front of many thousands of people. And I will be back with Martin Emerson at Chester Street for Durham against Glamorgan. We wait to find out if Ben Stokes, the England captain, will be up against Glamorgan. But they head to that match off the back of a 6-wicket victory here over Leicestershire. They take 23 points from Richard, from Edward and from myself, Nick Webb. Thank you very much indeed for listening. North Star. Stone is in to bowl to Cooke, who's gone big over mid-wicket. That's quite a long area of the ground.
Bowls to Higgins, who's bowled. He's been yorked.